There's a really cool piece in my collection of Flesh and Blood that I haven't showed publicly yet, and I wanna share it with you guys because it has a really cool story, and that's this retail uh, pamphlet. I want to call it. It's not a kit. It's really a retail pamphlet that was sent out in the early stages, Q1 2020, from Legend Story Studios to many different distribution networks and LGSs and all the like, mainly local game stores, but other people too, just to try out their game and understand what they're about. So let me give you a little backstory of what this product is, and then I want to open it. I want to read to you what's inside, because essentially this was to get you hyped about Flesh and Blood. This was meant for you to play the game of Flesh and Blood, read what they're about, Legend Story Studios, and then make a PO to Legend Story Studios for Welcome to Wrath. And yeah, man, I think it's it's a really great piece of history, because I feel like not many people know the true origins of Flesh and Blood. Because up until October 2020, this game was not hyped at all. People didn't really know much about it, and it was very, very low key. But after that point in time, the game just took off. And this was from an era where the game wasn't hyped, the game was out there, it was doing good, but it was just trying to get the feelers out to a bunch of people and, talk about it. So, yeah, again, this little pamphlet right here, Legend Story Studios distributed I don't know how many of these out to a bunch of local game stores and a bunch of distribution networks, I'd imagine. And it was really cool. It came with this. There's a booklet inside, and it basically says, "Hey, if you order from us now, we'll give you that retail appreciation kit." And I don't know if you know what that means. That's the lore book that you got, and you got a bunch of other stuff like Ira welcome decks. I'll read it in a bit, but basically you got bunch of stuff just for submitting a PO for Legend Story Studios. So it's supposed to like be an incentive to getting in on the ground floor for the game of Flesh and Blood. But what I really find attractive about this, especially as a collectible, is the attrition. Boy, do I Boy, do I theorize the attrition of these. Because if you're a local game store owner and you get one of these in the mail and you're like, what is this? Like, I don't know what this is. And they throw it out. They don't really care because local game stores in general get burned a lot with new TCGs. So, sometimes they don't really care about them. So they just throw this out. How many exist? No idea. But this is definitely one of them. So let me open it up. And basically, again, this thing, what it came with is it came with two Ira welcome decks. It came with a personalized card with the Legend Story Studios logo like they give to content creators. It came like and it was handwritten to the LGS. And I don't have it for this, but I know that they came handwritten to the LGS and said, "Hey buddy, we're Legend Story Studios, we want to be your best friend." And it said, "Please order with us. We really want to see you grow." And then also it came with a couple different posters and what have you, and a little bit of marketing and material. But right here for what you have now is I have this cover thing, and I also have the booklet inside. So I'll open that out. And this is gonna be a really nice chill video. If you enjoy these types of things, I want to read it to you. This is story time here. I'm gonna give you the little story here because it's beautiful. And honestly, look at this artwork. This is really cool. And what's cool is like that little person that's like a young individual, and they're becoming the hero in the shadow. And then if you look at all this artwork and stuff, there's a bunch of different like dragons and a bunch of stuff coming out of this artwork. I should get a PDF of this and put it online so people can see because it's really cool pamphlet, man. There's really cool stuff. So let me open it up and I'll just read it out and then we can have a little discussion as I read. Now, most important thing of this entire pamphlet, I'll read it, and it's in the front of the freaking book. Just to put it out there, disclaimer. I love disclaimers. This booklet was created for use as a promotional marketing asset. While all attempts have been taken to ensure the accuracy of the information presented within this booklet, certain parts of this booklet may become irrelevant or incorrect at a future date, i.e., now versus 2020 or 2019. It is thus important for the reader to consult the most up-to-date online resources, which is readily available at legendstory.com prior to making a purchase decision. 2019 Legend Story Studios, all rights reserved. So it basically says, hey bro, This is what we believe in 2019. Things may change, but here's what this is. So I just want to put that out there. This thoughts and ideas of this booklet probably have changed over time. Now, the beginning of the book, really cool. It's basically an opening remark to the retailer, which I thought it was really cool. And it shows a little LGS here, and it shows people walking into LGS and having a good time. I like that here. Okay, dear retailer, over the past 20 years, the team at Legend Story Studios has been dedicated to the growth and support of TCG communities in local game stores. Now more than ever, we see LGS owners facing challenges to survive as publishers aggressively migrate consumers into digital platforms, mass market retailers are prioritized, i.e., Channel Fireball, and margins are under pressure through the supply chain leaking product into the gray market. Interesting. The gray market. And mind you, this is the opening thing. This is the opening statement to the local game stores. Like, this has to be a powerful statement, right? So they're trying to identify. This is my words here. They're trying to identify with the stores and say, yo, bro, we've been in this industry for a bit. We know how you get effed. We know how things go wrong. We know the problems that you have. We want to fix them with our game. We want to ensure that our game is better than what you currently have. That's just where I'm reading into it. Now let's continue. Legend Studios is founded on our beliefs that great games serve as a common language to bring people together as local communities, and the place they come together is the local game store. Whoa. Our team has spent 7 years crafting our great game, Flesh and Blood TCG, and a career dedicated to international trade and business TCG. So they're saying, hey, we're qualified here. Our commitment to LGS. So there's 3 bullet points of commitments to LGSs right here. It says margin integrity. We are addressing the gray market and regional price variations of sellers direct to retailer globally. Second bullet. We are a tangible product company. We want customers purchasing our products in your store. Third bullet, we prioritize retailers who provide environments for positive local communities to exist. Sounds cool. We are committed to addressing the issues facing LGSs and invite you to take the first steps toward a better future for business by applying for a retailer account at b2blegendstorystudios.com. We look forward to working with you. Signed, James White, founder, CEO of Legend Story Studios. All right, so on this page right here, the second page of this pamphlet, right? Beautifully made. It's basically saying, hey, we see that you have issues. The biggest thing I took away from this, though, is the gray market the gray market seems like a big issue here, because literally the 3 different things that can happen is, consumers are going direct online. Well, that's going to happen regardless. And then what were the other 3? And then the gray market was another thing. And then margins are under pressure through supply chains. Big retailers get like an edge or something. But long story short, the first bullet that they talked about with the commitment to LGS is talked about the gray market and, margin integrity. And I think margin integrity is a big thing that they wanted to do. And I don't know anything about the gray market, but it just fascinates me that Legend Story Studios pinpointed on that, especially this is 2 local game stores. This is 2 distribution. This is not meant for people like me and people like you, like normal people. So it's interesting how there's this interesting buzzword that I don't know too much about. But anyway, I digress and I'll go through. But I think it was very well written, and it was very humble, and it's saying, hey, we know your issues and we're here to solve them. We're a really cool TCG and we know local game stores are important. Now, next page right here. Our guiding compass. Create value for local game stores so they may continue to provide environments for local communities to exist. Create great game experiences for fans that serve as a common language to bring people together. And dude, they do that. We've heard them so many times. We've seen it with all these different events. I think they're doing that. And it's really cool that they're saying, hey, we have a guiding compass. And if you look, There's a little depth here. This is a compass right here, and do you see where it's pointing? It's pointing to the local game store. It's like, bro, you are what we are striving towards, you know. So I think that's really cool. Next page, you're talking about the Flesh and Blood. So I like this transition. Now it's talking about the game. It's like, okay, Legend Story Studios. You know, retailers are like, you got our attention. Tell us what you can do. Tell us about your game. Tell us what you got. The new classic TCG, Flesh and Blood. Who will you become? Is the question. Set in the land of Wraith, the world of Flesh and Blood is populated with complex characters and compelling stories. We are about to embark on an epic journey where heroes are forged and legends are born. That's pretty cool, dude. Second page, we're talking about the design principles. Now this is a really fucking cool page. Like, design principles are really important to me. Okay, Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood is a hero-centric fantasy TCG designed for constructed, booster draft, and sealed deck tournament play. You play as a hero, with many classic fantasy classes to choose from. The class of the hero you choose dictates the cards you can include in your deck. Each hero has a unique playstyle that captures the essence of their class and personality. Yep, that's true, dude. It's really cool. 8 new heroes will be released each year through core products. That's interesting. I actually didn't didn't read that before. That makes sense. I mean, if there's 2 core products, oh, core products. Oh, that's something because Crucible War is supplemental. So if there's eight new heroes released in 2 core products a year, that means if there's like 3 in one, there'd be 5 in another. That's interesting. Now after that text at the top, it says design principles. Number 1, start full. The start full game system simulates heroes coming to the fight at full strength and wearing down over the course of the battle. Action starts fast and furious from turn 1, but players will be challenged with new concepts of card management in order to master the end game. Really cool. Number 2, reduce variance. Fab introduces a completely new resource system to the TCG industry. 100% of Fab games are interactive, except Against Chain. Every turn of every game, plays can be made to progress the game state. Yep, that's really cool. Number 3, every card counts. During the course of most of the games, you will see every card in your deck at least once, so make sure they all count. And I think that this is the design principle number 3, where every card count, where Drone of Brutality was banned, because you definitely see it more than once if you're playing at the end of the game. And the final design principle 4, reward good decisions, not good luck. Victory is earned through the accumulation of many good decisions. Fab is not a game where you slam a dragon and ride it to victory. It's really cool. Yeah. And basically that's the design principles. Really like it. It's really cool how instead of just showing different things, it's like, hey, this is a high level overview of what we're doing with our card game. It's a really good way to explain what you're doing. Now we go on to the next page and we look at products. So yeah, let's see what we got. MSRP $3.49 for a Welcome to Wrath booster pack. Oh my. Booster packs are designed for exceptional booster draft and sealed deck play. In addition to being the primary way for acquiring cards for constructed play. So basically good for draft, sealed, and constructed. Makes sense. Talks about the product configurations. 15 cards plus 1 token in each pack. 24 packs per booster box. 4 displays per case. Rarity distribution. There's 1 token per pack, 1 equipment per pack, 11 commons, 1 or 2 rares or higher in each pack, and 1 premium foil. Yeah, it goes the same thing as with the hero decks as well. It says cohesive gameplay straight out of the box with high replayability. Perfect for kitchen table games or as a foundation for building a tournament deck. And yeah, no, that's what it was. Then we have on the other side, we're talking about the Armory kits and the LGS Appreciation Kit, which is pretty cool. Now it's talking about the products, but then it's saying, hey, these are our products, but here's what you get. Here's your goodies. Store, retailer. Armory Kit. Provided free of charge to local game stores to support in-store organized play. Product configuration: 4 premium cold foil prize cards, 32 extended art prize cards, 1 People's Choice Champion playmat, and a poster based on a 4-week month. And all this shit has asterisks, so it's like, hey, this is subject to changing in the future based on whatever. Then we have LGS Appreciation Kit. TCGs wouldn't exist without the hard work of local game stores across the world. Here's a token of our appreciation. Available for a limited time, free of charge, for your first order. Act now. But wait, there's more. Product configuration. So basically, the LGS Appreciation Kit had the lore book and a bunch of other stuff. I'll read out to you what it was. You got a lore book, which is badass. You got 24 Iroh Crimson Haze welcome decks. And then you got a 2-player Learn to Play rubber playmat. 2 Hero Handbook Retailer Editions. I don't know what that is. And then a premium marketing asset, which is probably a poster or something. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And all you had to do was order once, and you got that LGS Appreciation Kit. That was pretty cool. Now, next page. It's not too much longer. It's just this. We got our organized play schedule for 2020. See how that unfolded. And then yeah, just some information at the back. So this is our last main information page here. Got our organized play on this side. We're talking about collectability and marketing support over here. So pretty interesting here. And I'll go to the bottom up from the organized play because it's talking about from the bottom all the way up. So we've got the Armory events. Armory events run weekly in local game stores across the world, intended to be training ground for tournament players or geared towards social play, as decided by each store. Armory kits are provided free of charge to qualifying stores and contain material to support 1 month of in-store play. Armory events can be run constructed, booster draft, or sealed deck format. Next is the Calling. The Calling is our premier level open entry tournament program, awarding cash prizes and invitations to the world champions. Ooh. The Calling events run year-round, traveling to select locations across the world. Formats will vary between constructed and sealed deck formats, with booster draft for the finals. Next, we have National Champions. National Championship. There's nothing like national pride to ignite the competitive spirit. National Championship season will run June through July, awarding invitations and travel to the World Championship. National Championships will be 2-day multi-format tournaments featuring constructed and booster draft formats. Yeah, looking forward to those, man. It's going to be really cool. And Nationals is in Florida this year. It's that's cool. And dude, this was written. Let me explain too. This was written in 2019, and this is them going forward with this in 2021. Man, they had a vision. They're going through with it. So the last thing is World Championship. The best in the world will be immortalized as living legends and rewarded with the largest Flesh and Blood tournament prize pool of the year at the annual invitational only World Championship. The first World Championship is scheduled for September 2020. Spoiler alert. It had to be postponed. Well, yeah, definitely World Championships, definitely postponed. But it was good that it was postponed, you know? It was good. Good call. Good call. Next page. Collectability. Very interesting. Collectability is the cornerstone of our new classic TCG vision. A return to the golden age when TCGs were coveted as collectibles, not commodities. Our artisans have poured their hearts and souls into creating cards that are objects of desire and are scarce. Wait, what? Are scarcely demanded has decreased. Wait, and our scarcity demon has decreed that the highest rarity fab cards shall not be plentiful of humankind. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a story behind. Let me finish collectability. We want fans to be proud of their collection, like a treasure worth protecting, fondly looking upon a symbol of the toil and sacrifice it took to hunt down the acquired. So basically, they say collectability is important, and we think that it should be should be important. Now there's a story to this. So there's this passage here. It says, "Our artisans have poured hearts and souls into creating cards that are objects of desire." Right. But then after that, it says, and our scarcity demon has decreed that the highest rarity fab cards shall not be plentiful to humankind. So what I gather from that is there's this old Facebook quote from James White where he was talking about the golden foil cards. And someone asked him, "Hey, like what's up with these?" And he said, "You know, gold foil cards are only for winners of big tournaments." He said that wasn't my decision, but those pieces have to be earned. So I wonder if this scarcity demon, as this pamphlet is saying, I wonder if that's somebody else in Legend Story Studios, not James White. Maybe it's like Robbie Wen. Maybe, I don't know. Robbie Wen is like the creative director. Maybe it's on him. Maybe that was his play. I don't know. Robbie's a really cool guy. I could see him doing that. But maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's somebody on the background that like had a really like firm belief. But Robbie's the only one that I could think could like say that. But I don't know. I'll have to figure that out down the line. But it's funny that it said the scarcity demon has decreed. That's definitely an inside joke, and I bet they were like, nobody's gonna read it this far. And if you are reading this far, then you're gonna enjoy a little joke here. Okay. Anyway, I digress. Back to the text, and then the last thing on this page is marketing support. High level OP programs such as the Calling, National Champs, and World Championships are intended to be create a broad demand for Fab. Localized OP such as Armory events are intended to create demand for Fab in your store. Our browser based game event manager, GEM software, makes it easy to run and report Fab events and automatically publish your events in the official event locator in fabtcg.com. Yep. Daily content published on fabtcg.com will create regular engagement for fans and visible round programs that support the LGS. Lots of beautiful point of sale print assets. So basically, they're saying, hey, we are making our game collectible, but we're also increasing, we're doing the marketing as well. So we're not just putting out a game. We're trying to market it as well with high demand collectible assets and also marketing support. Yeah, really good. And yeah, I'll give my final remarks at the end. This is funny. And then we have product OP schedule 2019 through 2020. Very interesting. And then at the end here it just says, rise to the challenge, become a hero. And it has a silhouette of all the Welcome to Wrath heroes. But yeah, what do we have here, man? So it says, Welcome to Wrath, boosters and hero decks, October 2019. We did that. Arcane Rising, February. Yep. And then Reinforced Pack 1. I'm not sure what that means. But he just has a bunch of list of all these events and such. Not too much out of the place. It does say World Championship September 2020 though, and I mean, with everything going on in the world, it was a good call to postpone that until probably next year. And at the end it says order now. On the final page. So it's like this is the call to action. Very well written. The Legend Story Studios is good at writing their pamphlets and such. Okay, order now. To order Flesh and Blood, go to b2b.legendstory.com and apply for a retailer account. You can only purchase Fab by opening a direct account with Legend Story Studios. We do not have distributors. Let me repeat. We do not have distributors. Interesting. And this was in 2019. Things were interesting back in the day. Not that many people know this. And this was given out in late 2019 and early 2020. Early 2020 mainly in the US from what I've gathered. When your account is approved, you will be able to log in to order products, place pre orders, review your order history, download assets, and update your account details. And then after that, it just has like a bunch of different like links and online resources. But that's the end of the guide. One really cool thing that also comes with this guide, I think it's one of the most important things of this thing, is a very small pamphlet like this, right? And what's interesting is all these, gold lettering, but look at this number, 40% margins. 40%. It's pretty high. I think that's high in the industry. I'm not too good at the backgrounds and the stores and all that stuff, but it says 40% margins right on this page right here. I mean, that's pretty damn high, you know? I think that's what they were calling for in the beginning of the whole pamphlet is they say the margin integrity with the gray markets and the big retailers that get priority because they're so big and you can get bulk ordering and stuff. I think that this was really the focus of the margin integrity, so I think that was really cool, but not much else to say with this right here. It just says at the bottom, if you pre-order, you get that appreciation kit that a lot of people have sealed. But yeah, let's just talk about it overall, man. Overall, I think it's a really cool piece of history, and I'm really happy that I picked one up while I could. Um, I don't know how many of these exist. Legend Story Studios could have printed like 10,000 of these and only given out like 5,000, and they have 5,000 in a warehouse somewhere, or who knows, maybe they only printed 1,000 of these. I mean, you'd have to look at the amount of stores that they would have contacted, but who knows, man? Who knows how many really exist? So as a collectible, I don't. It's really hard. It's in the realm of misprints and oddities, I imagine, because the issue is you just don't know the print run. You don't know how many of these exist. So as a collectible, I have no idea the price of it. I paid around $100, I think, for it. Very happy with the purchase. I just overall just being into Flesh and Blood at the time period in 2021 or 2020 and understanding the full value and the history of this pamphlet is just really something, because that's the big thing that's been lost to a lot of people over the course of this time with this game. Is this game used to be really small. This game just used to be chugging along and do its thing, but it wasn't nearly close to the hype level it is now. It took a bit of time for it to gain that traction, gain that hype, and once it did, people just went nuts. But as is history, man. But overall, really cool pamphlet. I hope they make more of these marketing pamphlets in the future, but at this point in time, I really don't think that they have to market their game to anyone. I think they have more than enough phone calls and emails coming to them at this point to order products and get the latest things. So I don't know if we'll see any of these in the future, but it's a really cool piece of history, and it just shows, man. It's like I'm gonna rant a little bit. It's like Legend Story Studios was, the new kid at the elementary school, and this was literally, let's say, let's say Legend Story Studios was Billy on the playground. This is Billy's birthday invitation to all of the new friends he's making. He says, "Hey, you want to be my friend? You will come to my birthday party." And a lot of people were dicks. A lot of people were dicks to Billy, and they threw out this pamphlet, and they didn't believe in it. They didn't try it. They didn't like believe what Billy was selling. But now, man, Billy's the most popular kid at that elementary school, and he's got ladies lining out the door for his phone number. He's killing it. And it's a very easy to see that Billy is just on fire now, but not many people realize the new kid on the block that Billy was in the beginning. So that's my metaphor for this whole sentiment. But I just think it's a really cool collectible, and I really don't want to sell it at any point in time. It's just too fond to me, but it's just a really cool piece. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take pictures of it, and I'm gonna put it in a PDF, and I'm gonna put it on the link down below so you can view the words yourself if you want to read, and you don't want to hear me ramble on about it the whole time. But thanks for listening, and yeah, let me know what you think, because it's a lot of interesting verbiage that I still don't understand.